Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing on our way out to Beagle Point. Our topic of discussion for today is going to be dealing with negative feedback. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I do want to take a second to go ahead and welcome all of the new faces who may be joining the video for today. The purpose of this journey is to work our way out to Beagle Point, work on our exobiology rank to hopefully get that up to the very high elite rank, as well as make enough money to hopefully be able to buy a fleet carrier and eventually take up residence out in the black and pretty much never come back to the bubble unless we absolutely have to. Today, I think we're going to go ahead and do one of our getting some distance done, because we have a lot of money stored up in our ship right now, and I'd really like to get to a place where we can get all of that sold and find out how well we're doing. I don't remember stopping at a planet that had rings on it. That's very interesting. Let's go ahead and get ourselves moving on to the next system here. In standard episodes where we're doing a bunch of exobiology, or where we're really focusing on that, we will pop the discovery scanner, check out the full spectrum system scanner, and see if there are any high value planets as well as any biological signatures. And if we find any of that stuff, we'll go do a planetary scan and then pop down, go see what's available there. But today we're just going to go ahead and do some distance. I've been doing more and more of those, more and more of these kind of episodes lately, because it's taking us a very long time to get to our destination, and I would like to make some progress. So we're going to go ahead and just spend the next 20 to 25 minutes just doing as many jumps as we can and making as much progress as we can. Let's go ahead and get out of the fuel scooping here. We'll pop into the galaxy map here in a second so you guys can see where we are and where we're going. We are currently located here in the Fomorian frontier. We are in we're halfway through the last sector before we're going to get into the Abyss region where Beagle Point is. We've traveled all the way through the center of the galaxy and visited Sagittarius A-star, the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. And we started way back over here in the bubble where human civilization is. So we are currently on our way over to this waypoint over here, and Beagle Point is somewhere off in this direction. We're getting to the point where it's getting very difficult to find paths that are going to lead us to our destination. So, yeah. We're going to have to start getting a little bit creative with our routes, and we're going to have to just start spending more of these episodes just kind of doing some traveling rather than stopping to smell the roses. It would be nice if we could get to the point where maybe we find a passing fleet carrier that may happen to have an exobiology sales point on it, but the odds of that happening are pretty slim. So we're just going to really focus on distance. I will try to remember to check out the map in every system just to see if maybe one pops up. Because if we can get our stuff sold and we can kind of see how close we are to our goal of being able to afford a fleet carrier, as well as, you know, how close we are to actually making that elite status rank, you know, that'd be really nice. So no location stuff in the filters here. I would imagine, well, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me know in the comments. Do fleet carriers show up? Do fleet carriers show up even if you haven't done a planetary scan or a full spectrum system scan of the area? I would be interested to know that. That would be because, you know, signal sources and stuff like that will show up, and I would imagine that fleet carriers emit quite a lot of artificial radiation and stuff like that. So I would think that you'd be able to see them, but I'm not expecting to find anything out here. I'm just kind of curious to know if that's how it ends up working. So today's topic of discussion is going to be dealing with negative feedback. I recently released a video on a demo that came out, Starship Simulator, and despite my overall positive opinion of the game, I received a lot of negative feedback from viewers on that particular video. I'm not sure why. You know, I had some criticisms of the demo because certain things weren't consistent, and some of it was way more complicated than I really wanted to have to deal with as a casual player. But they did make it so that so all of that was optional, and I left a pretty fair amount of praise on that fact. I was very happy that they made it so that, you know, you could delve into the simulator aspect of it as much as you wanted to. And I don't know, a lot of people found that video not satisfactory. I don't know. A lot of dislikes, and people went out of their way to leave pretty negative comments about my personal opinion of the game, and I don't understand why people feel the need to do that, but, you know, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that is what it is. Unfortunately, YouTube does not provide me with a way of disabling, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no way for me to shield myself from the community impact of videos like that. So if I either have to put up with having to constantly see comments like that coming in, and, you know, regardless of what any of us say, I don't necessarily care about the opinion of people who don't like what I have to say or anything like that, but you can't 100% ignore that kind of negative energy being directed at you. So while I don't personally care about the opinions of strangers on the internet, there's a negative energy that comes with those kinds of comments that we are just not equipped to completely disregard. I can tell myself intellectually that, you know, their comments don't really matter, but there is an emotional, primitive part of our brains that will not allow us to ignore that kind of thing. So since YouTube does not provide a way for me to shield myself from that kind of thing outside of simply just turning off comments completely for a video, or deleting the video, you know, I chose to delete the video, and that's mostly because I don't believe in censoring people. I don't believe in, you know, trying to tell people they can't say what they want to say. You should be free to, you know, have your opinion and speak it. So I refuse. I did once. I went in one video. I did eventually disable comments because people were going out of their way to be kind of jerks about the video, about my opinion on the video, and I eventually disabled the comments because it was just, I didn't feel like dealing with all of the drama there. And then people went out of their way to come into my Discord to start talking some trash to me. It's like, okay, you know, that video is not worth the drama that I'm having to experience because people feel like I'm attacking their pet project or their fanboy thing, and I'm like, I'm just not going to deal with that. I have very little patience for other people's BS, and, you know, you don't have to like what I have to say, but that doesn't mean you have to come all up in my face because I said something you didn't like. It's like you're what are you, in high school? You can't have another person can't have an opinion without you coming and getting in their face about it. Like, you're free to disagree, but the way people choose to disagree about other people's opinions is just very childish a lot of the time. So anyways, the point I'm trying to get to is that unfortunately YouTube does not provide. I don't want to get into the habit of doing a couple of things. I don't want to turn off comments because I feel like people should be able to say what they want to say. And at the same time, you know, a lot of people will tell you that you shouldn't be in your comment section. It's a very bad place to be because you're going to end up being sucked into the kind of negative stuff that I experience on some of my videos, and we as human beings are not equipped to deal with that. We're just not. It doesn't matter how mature you are or how you know that it's a trap and how any of that stuff is. Once that negativity starts getting thrown your way, we are not equipped to just turn it off. So the only way to avoid it is, the only way to like not get sucked into that and to not have your mental well-being be assaulted in that way is just to completely ignore your comments section. But I don't want to do that because, you know, I do have a lot of people who get on and they have very positive things to say about my videos. And, you know, I want you guys, at least until I get to the point where I just can't keep up with the comments, I want to make sure that you guys are getting some reasonable interaction from the content creator that you're watching. So, unfortunately, that means that when I do have certain videos that end up drawing insane, well, I don't want to say insane. When I do have videos that are drawing a significant amount of negative attention from people, with the way that things are set up now, I have no way of avoiding that without making it so I'm completely disregarding the rest of my audience. I don't want to do that. So, you know, I really wish that, and I did leave some feedback asking for this feature, but I really wish that YouTube would set it up in the YouTube studio so that we could mark a single video as I don't want to receive notifications for comments on this video anymore, because I don't really want to go around, you know, being a gatekeeper for what people can and can't say. If I put something on the internet, I want people to be able to say what they want to say about it, but I don't want to be forced to be exposed to a lot of these people who get on and they just want to talk crap. You know, it's like they might feel like what I said about a game or whatever to be unreasonable, or they just decided that they're going to make sure they want to make sure that I know that they disagree with me. And it's like, I don't care that you disagree with me. I really don't care that you disagree with me. You know, you don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with you. You watch the video, and if you didn't like the video, then go find another video to watch. We don't have to have an interaction. It's not required. I put these videos out with the hopes that, you know, some people are going to get something out of it. And if you didn't, then there's a back button that allows you to go back to the page that you were on and find another video. It is not required that you impose your opinion on me. I did not impose my opinion on you. I put my video out for general consumption, and you can take it and leave it. But unfortunately, YouTube does not provide me as a content creator a way to make it so that I can take or leave comments the way I want to, because I don't want to set things up so that I'm ignoring the vast majority of my audience because there's a small portion of people who feel the need to come and leave really super negative energy on my channel. I don't want to be like that. So I really wish that they would actually implement that kind of a feature where we can take videos that, you know, maybe didn't turn out the way we wished that they would and is receiving a fair amount of negative attention, and make it so that we can leave those up, but still have a way of making it so that I don't have to constantly deal with a long list of people who get on and, you know, didn't like what I had to say. I don't know. The point of this video is partially because, you know, I wanted to put that idea out there, but also just because, you know, I think most of us understand that the opinions of strangers don't really matter all that much, especially when all they're doing is coming in and trying to just, you know, I don't know. I don't know what people get out of hopping into a channel and leaving comments like that. Like, regardless of whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, I don't know what you think your comment is going to accomplish other than just irritating somebody. Because you're not going to change my opinion of whatever it is that I said in my video. You're just not. I have my opinion, and unless you come in with a really logical, good argument that isn't opinion, that is going to has a good chance of changing my mind. If all you're doing is coming in and saying, well, I think it's like this, I think it's like that, I don't give a crap. Your opinion means zero to me if that's all you're doing. So I don't understand what people think they're going to get out of hopping into somebody's video comment and leaving something super negative like that. Now, if you have some constructive criticism, that's a different thing. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. You know, if people who come in and, you know, maybe have a correction, like there were several comments on there where people were leaving corrections on it, and I was like, oh, cool, I didn't know about that. Somebody mentioned a polarization filter, and somebody mentioned where an observation deck was, and stuff like that. Constructive criticism, that's a different thing. What I'm talking about is people who come in and it's very clear that they have an attitude and they don't like what I had to say. And, you know, I really want to have the ability to filter that kind of stuff out. And here's the thing. There's a difference between having thin skin, and, you know, maybe I do. Maybe when it comes to this internet thing, I have a little bit of a thin skin because I'm trying to build something that matters to me. And when people come in and start talking, I'm trying not to curse. When people come in and start talking crap to me about something that I spent time producing and putting out there on the internet, you know, it's very difficult to just set that aside. You know, I'm trying to take a little bit of pride in what it is that I'm doing here. I'm trying to build this into a business, and it's very difficult when you actually truly do care about something to ignore when even strangers come along and start saying negative things to you about what you did. So, is it thin skin? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But at the same time, it's like we also, as human beings, as I've said a couple of times now, we're just not equipped to deal with that kind of interaction with people and be completely unaffected by it. And anybody who says that they truly don't give a crap about what anybody else says about them is fooling themselves. There is a tangible negative impact that you feel when anybody comes up to you and says anything negative to you. And that's one of the reasons why you hear people like Joe Rogan and all these other people who get a lot of flack. They say, don't look at the comment section. Just don't look at it. It's not worth the negative experience that you're going to have there with all the people who come in and try to say some stuff to you. And that's primarily one of the reasons why I make the kind of videos that I do. I'm trying to make sure that the videos that I make are as, I don't want to say bland, but just I stay away from topics that are going to get people in heated discussions. I did have a channel where I was trying to get into more like philosophy and politics and things like that, and I felt like I had decent things to say, but it's just the amount of negative response that I got, even though I knew it was going to come, it just, you can't be exposed to that kind of stuff and have a healthy mindset. You just can't. There is no technique that you can do that I'm aware of, aside from just, separating yourself from it completely, to where you can get that kind of energy thrown your way and you're actually aware of it and you're able to just kind of set it aside and not think about it. Even just reading the comment is going to stick with you. A single negative comment is just it's gonna sit in your brain, and it's gonna fester there, and you're not gonna be able to just, the only way to get rid of it is to just get rid of the source of the problem, which for me ends up being some of the videos that I do. So I try to make videos that give little to no reason for anybody to have a strong opinion, especially a strong negative opinion about anything that I'm doing. So I get on here, and like this topic right now, I'm sure some people will disagree with what I have to say, but because nobody really has a personal vested interest in how you deal with feedback, the odds of somebody getting on and actually leaving me some kind of, jerk comment is very small, because I'm not addressing a specific subject in which people have invested themselves into. And that's the problem with, some of the video game reviews that I could do. As soon as I bring up any kind of negative or any kind of criticism of whatever it is, anybody who has decided that, oh man, this thing is awesome, is going to immediately lose their minds, because they're not able to separate individual criticisms of individual aspects of an individual game from, I think this is the best thing since sliced bread, and it's perfect the way it is. Oh, it's just a technical demo. What are you expecting from a technical? Well, I'm addressing issues that the technical demo has. You know what I mean? And it's like, people don't have the capacity to, hear criticisms of a thing and separate that from, just dogging on it or whatever. And I'm saying that as a person who struggles to do that, because this whole video is me struggling to separate. Well, no, there is a difference in this particular situation. I am struggling to separate people's negative opinion about my approach to whatever their issue was about the game. The difference is that the way people choose to approach me about it is the part that bugs me. So it's like the people who disagree with me and come in with a respectful and logical and explanatory approach to why maybe my opinion wasn't the best, or why they disagree with my opinion, I'll listen to that all day. I appreciate that kind of stuff. It's the ones that come in and just have this sarcastic, this guy sucks attitude. And, that's not something you can easily just turn off and ignore. And it's like I said it earlier in the video. You can in your mind, the logical part of you can say, well, their opinion sucks and it doesn't matter. But at the same time, we all have feelings, and those feelings aren't rational, and we can't always, no matter how much our logical side tries to force our hearts to just let that stuff go, your heart has a mind of its own, and especially when it's something you care about, you're going to struggle really hard to ignore the trolls. It's just, there's a reason why trolls exist on the internet. It's because they actually get something out of what they're doing, and they do get a response out of people. They wouldn't, if everybody just completely ignored trolls, then, you know, the trolls wouldn't keep doing what they do. They do what they do because what they do works. We have feelings. They know how to tap into messing with those feelings, and it doesn't matter how good you think you are at, you know, managing your emotional state. The trolls work because they know how to defeat you in that way. So I think it's funny that, you know, especially operations like Google have all of this touchy-feely, you know, we're trying to create safe spaces and this and that and the other thing, but then they don't provide content creators with a way of, you know, shielding themselves from some of the vitriol that ends up happening on the internet. And I think that even something as, because I want to make sure I have the ability to continue interacting with the people who are worth interacting with, and then ignoring all of the trolls. And if I put out a video that's getting an extensive amount of attention from the trolls, I want to be able to ignore the comments from that specific video while still retaining my ability to receive notifications from people who are, you know, leaving me comments on the other videos. So I really hope that, you know, at some point they will add something that allows us to do a video by video filter of, you know, I don't want to receive notifications on this video anymore. It's getting a lot of negative attention. I don't want to delete it, and I don't want to mute the comments on it because I don't think that that's right. So give me the ability to leave that stuff up, let people say what they want to say, let people watch the video, let people like and dislike it however they want, and just make it so that I don't have to think about that video anymore. I just write it off and understand that, oh, well, that video didn't go the way I wanted it to. Let me move on. But when I'm constantly having to get notifications from that same video over and over and over again, you know, it makes it impossible for me to just write it off because I'm constantly being reminded, oh, there's a video there that people are talking crap about. So, I don't know. I know there'll be people who disagree. I know there's people who have this macho attitude of, you just need to suck it up and get over it and not that... Okay, you know, you can't do that. You say that, but you can't do that either. You know, and if you think that you can, you're full of crap, because you don't live your life that way. You aren't, when it's something that actually matters to you, you're not able to turn it off. I don't care how much of a tough mental macho person you are. If it's something that that's important to you, and people are talking crap about it, you feel the same way that I do about it. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way that it is. It is just the way that it is. All right, we need to start looking for a place to set down. I think we're 22 minutes into this video, and it's going to take us a couple minutes to land. So let's see if we can find a system that has a decent number of bodies in it. It won't be this one. This one only has stars in it. That's okay, though. We'll do another jump or two, and hopefully we'll find what we're looking for. Get ourselves hopped into the next system. Tell you what, man, that's going to be a long trip on the way back.
4, 3, 2.
All right. So, yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about that. I end up rambling in a lot of these videos, even when I have a specific topic of discussion, because, you know, there's more aspects to what I'm talking about than just the original concept, and a lot of times it just requires a little bit of secondary explanation of things, because nothing is ever as simple as just saying this topic, here's a simple thing, and that's the end of it. Right? There's always more layers to everything than it is than just, you know, the subject of whatever it is that you're talking about. Let's see. Well, hold on. Can we see any landable planets here? No. Let's do a quick full spectrum system scan to hopefully find a place for us to set down. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, right there. Getting a bad feeling. Do we have another planet somewhere? Okay, there we go.
System scan complete.
All right, are there any landable planets here? Yes, right here. Excellent. Oops, wrong button. get ourselves set up with the Super Cruise Assist, get ourselves turned off in that direction, and then we're going to get ourselves landed and done for today. So anyways, you know, the unfortunate thing about putting yourself out there on the internet is that by its very nature, you're going to be exposing yourself to a vast array of different points of view, and, you know, you're going to have to take the bad with the good, and that's just kind of the way that it is. I think there are ways to help deal with that and make the effects of that on your mental health a little bit less overt. But unfortunately, they haven't implemented those measures yet, and made it so that we can have the best of both worlds. And I think that I know specifically being able to just turn off comment notifications for single videos would go a long way towards making it so that we can still have very good interactions with our regular audience without, you know, random people coming into individual videos and just raining a bunch of negative stuff on you. I think that would be a really good way of helping the comments section become less of a strain on the creator themselves. And I would really like that to happen. I mean, if my channel ever gets to the point where I have too many comments to be able to respond to in the first place, and I end up having to get to the point where, you know, only a certain segment of my audience is going to get responses, well, you know, that's going to be a different thing. And, you know, I'm looking forward to that and not looking forward to that at the same time, because I don't like the idea of ignoring anybody, but at the same time, you know, I want to get big enough that I just don't have time to answer all the comments. Because if you get that big, you know, if you're big enough to where you don't have time to answer all the comments, then it means you're pretty successful. And obviously that's where I want to be. But at the same time, you know, you guys sit and you watch my stuff, and if you leave me a comment, I'd love to be able to at least say, hey, thanks for the comment. Just, you know, just depends on if I'm able to get big enough to where that actually becomes a thing. It's kind of a crappy thing to wish for. I'm wishing for it because I want success for myself, but then it means I'm going to be ignoring people, and, you know, that's not nice. Not a nice thing to wish for. I don't know. There's a nice side of it, and then there's a kind of a jerk side to it, and I guess that's kind of the way everything is. We all have things. Everything in our life has an altruistic side and a selfish side to it. Even when you're doing volunteer stuff and you're trying to help people. You know, nobody really helps anybody else out of a selfless desire to help people. We help people because, you know, for whatever reason, there's a biological good feeling that happens when we help people. And if you're helping people, you're doing it because you want that feeling. You want to feel like you're doing something good. So in the end, you know, there's a positive side effect to doing nice things like that, but realistically, you're doing it for yourself. That's kind of the way it works. So I don't know how I got on that. I don't know how I got on that other than, all right, let's hurry up and get down here. I don't know how I got on that subject other than I know I was just I was talking about the good side and the bad side of everything. Everything has a bad side. Oops, wrong button. All right, so let's get ourselves pointed in this direction. Landing gear is down. We are not mass locked. I was trying to be a little bit more efficient with my angles and stuff like that, and thought I'd just come straight down, but unfortunately, I wasn't thinking about the fact that my vertical thrusters probably aren't the best. Well, anyways, hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button if you did, so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed, and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a continuing commitment, you can leave a tip in the form of that thanks button. Direct contributions are greatly appreciated and a significant component, a critical component, to turning this into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So, from the far side of the Milky Way galaxy, from where Earth is, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have been enjoying this journey. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.